On the morning of August the 4th, 1914, the German cavalry crossed the border into neutral Belgium. The Belgians decided to fight back. They had few weapons and only 150,000 men. The German army outnumbered them 10 to 1. Belgium's only hope was the forts around the city of Liège. These underground fortresses had over 400 guns and were thought to be one of the strongest military positions in Europe. But the Germans had planned for the forts and brought out a secret weapon. Big Bertha, the world's largest cannon. The enormous shells smashed through the forts. The Belgians held out as long as possible, but one by one the forts were captured. But the bravery of the Belgians had slowed up the German advance. So did the British, who to Germany's surprise stuck to their agreement with Belgium. Britain immediately sent most of its small professional army to France, where they were soon in action. In the east, the Schlieffen Plan was already failing. The Russian army had mobilized quickly and crossed the border. Thousands of Germans were forced to leave their homes. The Kaiser sent more troops and two of his most experienced generals to face the Russians. The Russians outnumbered the Germans 4 to 1, but they had poor leaders and little training and equipment. Some soldiers didn't even have a rifle. The generals in charge of the Russian army had divided their forces and entered Germany from different directions. The Germans decided to combine their forces and headed south to Tannenberg. Within a month, the Germans had pushed the Russians back, killing 250,000 men. The Russian advance into Germany had been stopped. In France, things weren't going so well for the Germans. The German attack was slowing down as they ran out of supplies. Instead of surrounding Paris as originally planned, they moved east towards the Marne. The French army could now attack, and every available French soldier was rushed to the front. The soldiers were going to the Battle of the Marne. It lasted 6 days and involved 2 million men. When the battle ended, the German advance had been stopped. Paris was saved, and the Schlieffen Plan was in ruins. The war was going to take longer than the Germans had planned.